Hello, accountability buddies. This is Les with another episode of Less is More Healthy, coming to you from the car as I run errands. I am on my way over to Lowe's to pick up more pellets, which is, if you've been here for a while, something I do almost every weekend in the winter. I'm looking forward to March when I don't have to do it as often and I don't have to buy as many. But it is a weekly errand at this point, and I am not enjoying the cold. After I get done at Lowe's, I'm going to head over to the mall. I'm going to do some mall walking and maybe hit up the grocery store. Definitely going to go to Five Below and check that out. Yeah. Last episode, I talked about something that I found particularly embarrassing. And that's digestive issues on type 2 diabetes medications. And I wanted to follow that up with a little bit of additional conversation. Because it's one of those things that I know I took for granted. Is like, when it came to the type 2 diabetes medications that I was initially on, they caused poop problems in the other direction. I had a very, very negative reaction to metformin. I was in the bathroom constantly. I continually felt like I was going to poop my pants, which is the reason why I refused to continue taking it. In my mind, the use of medication is to benefit one's life, and spending all day or worrying all day that I was going to poop my pants was not something I am willing to tolerate. That doesn't add to my mental health, certainly, but it doesn't add to my life in any way or stretch or form. So I don't think my doctor, my regular doctor, my PCP, was not surprised when I was like, yeah, this gives me digestion problems, I'm not taking it anymore. She was not surprised when I refused to take it. And my actual diabetes specialist also agreed with that, and so, put me on a different type of medication. So that aside, like, I didn't really know what to expect from Ribelsis. And I have a few thoughts that have occurred because I've been journaling again. And with the journaling, I have had, I've made some connections, which is the whole reason why I journal, is to make connections, not just for my daily life, but for things like this. Things I'm learning, and also to think about stuff like, how am I responding to Ribelsis? So, a couple of things to point out. I did not have a negative response to Ribelsis until November. And in November, a couple of things changed. First, I stopped riding my bike as much. And second, I stopped doing my morning shake with a fiber added. So part of my morning shake is that, I do a protein powder, either coffee or water in the protein powder. That goes in a blender with plenty of ice. I also always added a scoop of fiber, like just a regular dietary fiber, whatever fiber I picked up super cheap at CVS. It's sort of the tasteless clear stuff. And I always added that to the shake. So it was really part of my regular diet. And I didn't really think about some of the digestive issues I was having and connected it to stopping that particular stuff. Like, I wasn't really thinking like, oh, hey, I stopped taking my fiber supplement and now I can't poop. So my protein shake was the Orgain protein powder, the fiber supplement. Sometimes I would add some chia seeds to it. Sometimes I would add some other stuff. occasionally I'd add a scoop of like cocoa powder, or other things, but nothing that would add any carbohydrates to it. And that was mixed with either milk or coffee, depending on my mood, um, and what I wanted to ingest. So that, was like a daily morning thing. And I didn't really connect the dots between the poop problems and stopping that fiber supplement. But it all started around the same time. So there's that. And then coinciding with that is the fact that I reduced my exercise drastically. I was riding 25 to 30 miles on the regular, and not just on weekends. I was commuting to work for much of August and for part of September. And that was a 25-mile ride round trip. So, a lot of stuff going on there. So I reduced that exercise. And then things got difficult with my diet. Thanksgiving, the holidays, holiday parties, holiday get togethers, all of that stuff happened. And I really was not as careful with my diet as I should have been. All of this is hindsight 2020, and I'm trying really hard not to beat myself up for it. Because one thing I don't think anyone really tells you about constipation or really talks about is it's very uncomfortable and a little painful. And you don't really think about that, or I didn't really think about that until it happened to me. Um, and it's a little frustrating because no one talks about it. Maybe it's just not in the spheres where I have conversations, but like I know family members have had problems with this, so why weren't we talking about it? Because no one really wants to talk about that, and when those family members were alive, I was far too young to be interested in, hey, you're constipated, what's that feel like? I certainly knew when those family members were uncomfortable or in pain, but not why. I know now, because of medications that were out on their counter and things like that. And I think even as like a teenager and when I was in my 20s, I recognized what the medications were for. Certainly, I could read the labels. But anyway, all of that coincides together to know that I probably have some sort of genetic predisposition for constipation, and possibly stomach problems, because the person that I know who had these, um, very similar. But anyway, yeah, so it's one of those things that I never really gave much of a thought to, never really thought about how it was going to feel, because I'd never really had problems with it before. And I think that's a little frustrating to realize that this is a problem that affects probably millions of people, but we don't talk about it because it's embarrassing. I mean, there are ads all over the place for fiber supplements, and why are people taking fiber supplements? So they can poop. Um, so I'm sure many people are affected by it at some point in their life, and I'm just rambling at this point. So anyway, the solution that I found is that I am now regularly taking the fiber supplement. I'm doing a protein bar in the morning because that has been generally easier for me. There's something about the washing out the container for the blender. I don't know. There's something about the steps involved that I'm not down with for making my protein shake in the morning. Certainly, I know I can shake it instead, but also because they're so cold, I'm not really a fan of drinking cold things in the winter. I'm much more interested in having something hot in the winter. So anyway, I'm gonna leave this at that. Stitch these many clips together to make my video. So anyway, thank you for being here. Thanks for the thumbs up, the likes, and the conversation. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. And I hope I see you here next time. Thanks and bye.